Alternate title, Make Words Yes. John J. DeBoer, who has a PhD in vocabulary.
However, your committee will continue to investigate and hopes to present a definite recommendation at next month's meeting of the Civic Association.
Thank you, Mr. Hanson.
For your report on the Mbop Memorial.
Mr. Willis. I want to talk about,
Muffins.
I think we need a playground here on the west side. We need it because,
Underpants.
because we need a place for our boys and girls to play.
Talk much.
A playground.
Mr. Willis has an important idea to express, but he lacks the vocabulary to express it. Finding the exact words to fit your ideas is one of the first steps in building your vocabulary. People can be interested in new ideas when those ideas are expressed in well-selected words.
Hey, Don Bluth in the front row there.
This use of exact words to communicate your ideas applies to written words as much as to spoken words.
Written words like graffiti or ransom notes.
Hi, Dad. Would you be interested in...
Loving me.
Oh, what's the matter?
Oh, nothing.
Something go wrong at the meeting?
Yes. I sort of made a...
Duty.
What's on your mind, son?
I thought you might like to read my term paper before I hand it in tomorrow.
Oh, great.
Well, yes, of course.
My embarrassing
Our
dad.
public parks, monuments, or playgrounds. Huh?
Sorry, Normandy flashback.
Much of the juvenile delinquency in our community can be traced to our lack of public playgrounds and our lack of a planned recreational program.
I never knew you felt this
We are
way.
not without our public parks, but they are landscape monuments rather than playgrounds planned for the direction of youthful energy into character-building channels. Why, Pete,
This is utter drivel.
you express your ideas very well, but this isn't the way you talk, is it?
Well, that depends. But you see, this is a term paper, and, well, as I understand it, when you're talking or writing, you use words that fit the occasion.
Get off my butt, Dad.
But here, the words you use, they sound good, and they seem to be the right words to say what you mean.
Well, that's what I...
Where'd you learn all those words?
Poindexter.
Well, you see, I keep a vocabulary notebook. It's a
boy.
good way to learn new words to increase your vocabulary, so you can express your ideas better.
Sorry you asked yet?
Whenever I come across a new word, reading or listening to someone, I write it down. Later, I put it in this notebook.
Let's see.
I write down the pronunciation and the definitions of each word, and then some synonyms.
Then I write help me in my own blood.
But then, of course, I try using the word. Using the word correctly a few times is what really fixes it in your vocabulary.
In your what now?
And a good working vocabulary helps you to be more explicit.
Well, you certainly surprised me with your vocabulary. Yes, indeed. Be more explicit.
Oh, I do not want to see this guy getting more explicit.
So Mr. Willis began a vocabulary notebook in a business-like way. First, he considered the context in which the word was used.
Then he looked up the word context.
Now, where did I hear that? From Mary. She was talking about redecorating this room.
Dear,
What about redecorating this room?
I think we ought to put a valance over the window. It would make it more dramatic. Don't you think a valance would be effective?
Who was that woman?
Valance must be some kind of decoration. But do I have to bother with all these special words? Maybe I'd better. I certainly want to have a say in how the house is decorated.
Sure. Valanquy.
Short curtain as the valance over the top of a window.
Window.
The valance would look
know
good
that
up
from
there.
somewhere.
Maybe this will help me understand what Mary's talking about.
Am I right, fellas?
Valance had only a single meaning. Other words, like vacillate, have many meanings.
Aw, man.
The only way to tell which meaning is intended is from the context in which it is used.
Oh, like in the Bible.
Synonyms: fluctuate, waver, oscillate, Wait a minute.
This is filthy.
Too many words. Mean nearly the same thing, but still they're different. Nobody can learn all those words. I'm going to bed.
Ah, you mean you're turning in, retiring, hitting the sack, withdrawing?
But next morning, Mr. Willis found he couldn't escape unfamiliar words when his wife called.
Oh, John,
Flabberjabber.
Yes, dear.
will you stop at the library and get me that anthology of plays?
All right, dear. Anthology. Why does everybody in this family use these fancy words?
They're being so abstruse.
In the morning newspaper, he found words that looked familiar enough, yet when he studied them, their meanings weren't explicit.
For example, the word newspaper.
Even in his work, he began to be aware that he used words that he could not define precisely.
That it is not feasible to allocate necessary production facilities. Feasible. Allocate.
It. Uh-oh, he's got word rage again.
Excuse me, Mr. Willis. There's a gentleman here from the ABC Printing Company. He wants to discuss their new electrotyping process with variable type fonts.
I'll return subsequently.
I'll tell him you're busy to come back later.
Crummy language. Why can't we just communicate with semaphore flags the way God intended?
Feasible. Ultimatum.
Electrotype.
Allocate.
And
Feasible. Allocate.
Time to go!
Feasible. Allocate. Feasible.
Explicit. You know, Dad, explicit.
Turn it off.
A good working vocabulary helps you to be more explicit.
How's this for explicit? Get bent, son.
Well, I guess I need this. Anthology. An anthology of modern plays.
Ugh.
This is the book Mary wanted. Oh,
Saucy.
so that's what an anthology is. A collection. Now, what else came of my trip to the library?
Oh, yeah, I rented Chappie.
Each of us has certain interests which we need to share with others. If we know the special vocabulary, we will understand what people are talking about, and other people will understand us.
Cool.
This book will help Mr. Willis have a say in the decoration of his home.
After 42 years.
This book on the fundamentals of printing will help him in the conduct of his business.
And this book on fundamentalism will help him survive the end times.
Books on special interest subjects help us build the vocabulary we need to talk the language of others.
Esperanto.
That's not
okay.
the only language I'm going to talk. At the next meeting of the Civic Association, I'm going to sell my idea, or my name isn't Willis.
Doodly, doodly, doodly. My name is Johnson.
The chair recognizes Mr. Willis.
Reluctantly.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen,
Don Bluth.
for many years now, our city council has wavered
Explicit.
between a policy of no parks
Valence.
and beautiful but useless parks.
Feasible.
The time has come to present the council with an ultimatum.
This is really doing it
An
for me.
ultimatum demanding for the west side
Represent.
Yes, people can be interested in new ideas when those ideas are expressed clearly and effectively. Increased knowledge of words has enabled Mr. Willis to think through his ideas more logically and to present them more effectively to an appreciative audience.
Of family members.
We will show them that it is feasible, that the
Nice.
city budget is nothing more or less than a plan for spending our money. A plan which can and must be adapted to meet our needs.
Explicit, Dad. More
Words
explicit.
that we choose carefully to say what we mean, choose for the audience and the occasion, help us gain support for our ideas. And not only in speaking,
But spitting mad
effective
rhymes.
use of words helps us think and write more forcefully and with more interest when we prepare term papers and other school assignments.
Lots of words are good and okay.
Command of words helps us contribute to debates and discussions. We communicate more quickly and more effectively.
Me talk now.
Being skilled in the use of words aids us in selling ourselves when we look for jobs. Whenever
Hey,
we're around
it's
people,
Are You Popular,
a
my
good
first short.
vocabulary helps us say what we mean and understand what others mean. Pete has developed his skill in communication through words, just as Mr. Willis has, just as you can, by being alert to words. by using words that say exactly what you mean.
Words like bored.
By building your vocabulary.
To see that program carried out, then we can achieve our goal by going before the council and making our demands explicit.
Only then will we consider releasing hostages. Yes, learning those 4 new words really turned everything around for this guy. Coronet reminds you to make noises with your face to give message other people. Goodbye.